Do you ever see yourself doing more work on the production side of shows?
Absolutely not.
Tell me why.
No. I don't.
That was such a quick
no,
absolutely
no.
Not in my life or anyone else's.
No.
Yeah, but could you say why?
No, because I 100% have like a control issue. So
you said you have a control issue?
I do. So like if I produced it, if in my head I had the vision and then I give it to somebody else and they don't paint the picture the way that I painted the picture. It's like, bro, did you miss what I just gave to you? And I know that would eat me inside, and I don't want to take that out on somebody else because they are doing the best that they can do with the product that I was like, oh, I had this idea, cool. Here are all the pieces, here are the ideas, make it happen. And then you put it together, it's just like, bro, that is not the vision that I had. But it's not really about that for people that are putting stuff together. It's like you give people the pieces to create their version of your ideas.
So during that time period, were you creating through it? Because what I'm hearing is, and I think this is something that's not acknowledged enough about folks, you build a relationship with the podcast itself, not just the people you're doing interviews with.
For sure.
So when it comes to the relationship that you've built with the podcast, would you say you had a healthy relationship with the Gin Papi podcast when you built that as it went?
Yeah, for sure. I think it actually got better.
Okay.
When we first started it was very much a thought that someone gave to me, and I was like, okay, we could work with it. I'm not mad at that. We got nothing else to do. Let's get it done. And I think the more that I did it, it became more of like my thing. Like the idea of like doing a podcast was a cool idea. I'd heard a podcast before. I had listened to podcasts before. It's like, but I don't know if I want to do it. Then someone explained it to me like, oh, you should do this because XYZ. So reluctantly, I was like, we could do it. We got the instruments, got the equipment, we did it. And the more that I did it, was more like, okay, this might be my thing. And it became more of like my baby. Yeah. Like, okay, cool. I really do enjoy this. And the more that I got into it, it was like, oh no, I really like this. And then with everything, when you create something, like, there's the ups and downs of creation. Yeah. But anytime it went well or anytime it didn't do well, it was like, but I still have my thing that I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? It was like a kid. Like your kid is good and you're proud of them, and your kid is bad and it's like, you did that, but but you still mine.
Yeah, I still got you.
I still got you. You still my kid. So it became something like that. Like very much like, ooh, okay. Every week was like so fun. Like, let me just see how it goes. So when it went well, it was like, all right, thanks guys for supporting me. And when it didn't, it was like, all right, cool, but I'm glad I got it out. So it was like that.
Would you see yourself working on other people's shows if you decide not to go back and reinvigorate the Gin Papi podcast?
Other people's shows, how?
Like, let's say you decided to be a co-host because you feel there's still a perspective that you can give folks, but you don't want to do it on your own.
Got you. I wouldn't mind being a co-host, pending. Yeah,
what would it pen?
Co-hosting wouldn't be too bad. It would, like, pending the show and how we're going to handle it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind being a co-host. If I enjoyed the content that was being created and I thought that I would fit the space, then I wouldn't mind being a co-host. But it's the thing about finding that is you gotta do it first. And it was like you said earlier about who you want to work with. Yeah, it's like I really gotta do the homework on, will I really fit here, or are you just looking to fill the seat? Yeah, because there are also people where it's like, I just want to fill the seat, but I'm still going to be the guy. Like, you're just going to be here to be like my Robin, as opposed to like, we're going to build this thing. Yeah. So, yeah.
When it came to the relationship side of things, from what I saw, you guys had amazing chemistry. Like, I think back to that day because, for me, I had concepts like snacks with Coop and I. I had Mental Health Monday, which originally was supposed to be with Ryan and I, but I saw the uptick of COVID because that was the beginning of COVID. We shot that like 2019, right on the nose before COVID hit. I was like, I have these shows because for me, Get Home Safe was supposed to be a platform where we brought the therapist to the function, but if we weren't able to bring the therapist to the function, how do I still help the gears in people's minds move forward? So I was like, all right, creative sit down, folks and I chatting on camera. We gonna do this. And then when I got on camera, I was like, oh, I belong here, but this is dangerous. And for me, it was dangerous because I grew up Jamaican. Mm-hmm. Jamaicans don't have a lot of filters.
Gotcha.
We are very concise. What we say is right. If we're wrong, we'll think about apologizing. You may not get it right now, but like our experiences trump yours because I came from an island and now I'm here in America, so what's up? You feel me? So, and there were some special moments, but I came to realize I was only doing sit downs with therapists. Mm-hmm. Because in order to build a relationship, there's this thing people do where will like an interview and they will start to build a relationship with you in their heads. So I wanted to speed that up. I was like, all right, I'm going to build a relationship for them. I'm going to put out these gems. And some of the gems work. Like people either got business or got good advice off of the gems, right? Mm-hmm. But then the other side of that was if you're not creating anything, folks would be like, yo, so where's my next fix?
Got it.
And when it came to next fix, I'm like, yo, we in a pandemic, baby. But they was like, nah, but we see you out here protesting. I was like, with a mask, baby. The pictures, the mask is off.
If you could do that, then you could do this.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, how do I bring that back? So like this interview to me has value because you're the first person to interview me as a mental health platform. So imagine you build something for years. You're going in the right direction. And a lot of folks don't realize this. Anybody I work with, you're told no before you're told yes. I don't mean the immediate people who you guys see me publicly working with. Mm-hmm. Understand, there are about 80 people in my life's process of I've reached out to work with, and the text messages and DMs have either been ignored or the calls have been, hey, I'm busy. So the few who have said yes to me, I value them, and I say, I need to maximize this relationship and the relationship the public has with them.
Got you.
So I set up cameras, I set up lights. And then for folks like you, I'm like, but there's other people who need to have an opinion who actually go through it that have either created things or not created things at all. Mm-hmm. Like I have someone who has never done anything of value, quote unquote, according to like society, but they are struggling. And I'm like, no, your story needs to be heard. So how do we frame that story? How do you... My job isn't to get people to care about other folks. My job is to make sure people understand the other perspectives and how folks got there and what they went through. Mm-hmm. So for your stuff, I just appreciate it. I'm like, hey, man, I'm proud of that, man. You feel what I'm saying? And we actually were supposed to do this twice, but I caught COVID, like right before Christmas, and I was just like, damn, now I'm in the crib. And since then, I had to make a separate list, and I was like, we are going to have this talk.
Got you.
You feel me?
And I think our experiences are a little different in like you had something before, mm-hmm. and then when we got into COVID, it mm-hmm. was like, hey, where's our stuff?
I had 3 things.
Where's our stuff? We need it. We know, mm-hmm. like you're a content creator. We need what you create because mm-hmm. I'm locked in now. Like I've built a relationship where every week, every month, every whatever, I'm mm-hmm. ready to click, listen, see, come in. Mm-hmm. I think for us, the weird part was we started in COVID, mm-hmm. and then when COVID stopped is when we stopped. It was like, all right, now we're back. We're back to working. Like mm-hmm. everyone already had their stuff, but it was slow. So we were able to sit and have these conversations, and now it's like, yo, everyone's back.
We back on the up and up.
Because we started this thing when we was in the house. Mm-hmm. We all had lives outside of this. Yeah. And now that we're kind of like half in, half out, it's like, oh, I kind of got to get back to, like, oh, I got to go. I got this over here. Mm-hmm. Yoko got that over there. Yeah. I got this over here. Like, we would love nothing more than to sit down here once a week and like kick it and talk to y'all and send it out. Like. Yeah. The message is like, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen it in a while. It's like, yo, I'm not gonna hold you. It's like, yo, life happened again. Mm-hmm. And when I figure out the balance that I didn't have to figure out before, mm-hmm. maybe we'll be back, maybe we won't. But I had a solid deal, but now mm-hmm. the foundation got shaken a little bit. Yeah. But I do appreciate the people that definitely reached out, because it wasn't like, yo, I need it, but it was more like, yo, just everything good. Like, y'all cool. Like, oh, nah. Like, nah, we all Gucci. It's just life is lifing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when life when life gets a little easier, or like we can get on any type of regular schedule, then we'll get back to y'all.